Yeah, I think, so we've gone pretty heavy into the crypto and blockchain industry the last 18 months. I've spoken to most of the major players and had conversations with them, and thought a lot more about money, as well as the Bitcoin maximalists who look everything through a Bitcoin world, which is interesting as opposed to a fiat currency world. One of them is controlled by governments, and money can be printed when it wants, and the other one it can't. And so you start to look at your life through that perspective of money. And if you think about it long enough, you start to realize that money is not just something to have into a bank account. It is life itself.
Right.
And we got into a big fight in 2020 for freedom of speech, and our major technology platforms wouldn't allow us to put certain messages out. And we kind of fought back and said, well, we should be able to say what we want and have these open discussions. But financial freedom, without that, there's nothing to talk about.
Right.
And we saw when people pull funds or restrict that, that's higher up in the Maslow hierarchy than speech, I would say.
Right.
Because that's your very essence of anything you want to do. And I think I'm seeing it more with crypto, is that, that money is life to a certain extent. And free money maybe means a free life. And any type of controlled money means your freedom will go.
Correct.
And one of the first things they pulled on us was our PayPal account got suspended, immediately when the other things didn't want anything to do with us. And you could just see how that will stop you dead in your tracks.
Yeah, it's amazing. Financial freedom is the foundation of all freedom. It's why people talk about wanting financial freedom. And there's different definitions of financial freedom, and I think they're all valid. Whether financial freedom is having so much money that you don't care about money anymore, or whether financial freedom is having a set amount of money that you live comfortably within. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But your point is exactly right. Without money, without the ability to generate money or live within the money that you have, you're always under control, right? Control is always there. You either have it or someone has it over you. It's a binary calculation. There is no in between, right? If you're not the one in control, then the question you should be asking yourself is, who is the one in control of my money, of my time, of my day, of my mood, of my thoughts, of my feelings? That's when CIA taught me that concept. It was uncomfortable until I learned that it's true. As children, you're under your parents' control. In the school system, you're controlled by teachers and by the principal and by the infrastructure of your school. In your career, you're governed by the rules of good practice and whatever else, and your bosses control how much money you make, and taxes controls how much money they take, and you're not in control of anything, right? And then even your 401k and any effort you have to save your money, you only really have it if you can get it back out. If you can't, and banks lend against your money. So if the bank loses, your money's gone. It's a Wonderful Life is the movie that shows when you run on the bank and the bank doesn't have reserves, you're out of luck. So you really don't have control. And that's a terrifying, terrifying thought, which is why so much of what we do in intelligence is take control from people who have already given control up. Because when you've given up control, a lot of times what ends up happening is you're trying to find someone better to control you. You're not ever looking. Most people don't look to take control back themselves. They say it, but what they really mean is, I want to give my control to someone else who I trust more than I trust the current person, right? You don't like your boss, but that doesn't make you want to be an entrepreneur. It makes you want to work for someone else. It's just giving control to someone else, right? It's a twisted way the human brain works, because up here, we're still very much cavemen. We haven't evolved here like we've evolved on our cell phones or evolved in our laptops.
And this is basic tradecraft. Why? Because you're trying to control people or understand people?
No, in espionage, you're controlling people. That's exactly what you do. You're controlling scenarios, you're controlling world events, you're controlling decisions that people make. You're controlling them, we use the word manipulate. You're manipulating factors that with high probability will drive a human being to make certain decisions. So in essence, you're controlling their decision-making process without them knowing it. That's the essence of human intelligence, of human tradecraft.
What's an example of that?
So if you want someone to give you a secret, let me give you a real-world example.
Yeah.
If you're talking to a general and you want that general to give you a troop movement that's happening in some foreign country, they shouldn't tell you the troop movement. It goes against their best interest. They were trusted by their government to understand, the value of the secret of that troop movement. But guess what the most important thing in the general's life is? Not the troop movement. It's his marriage, or his oldest daughter, or his son with cancer, or his aging mother, right? He's a human being first, and a general second. So when you come in and you show sympathy for that sick son, or you share a story about your own aging, dying mother, now there's a human connection to you. That human connection supersedes their loyalty connection to their job. And then when you layer on top of that a financial or real life benefit, hey, your sick son can't get the care he needs in your country, but I can facilitate him to get the best care in the world in Switzerland or Sweden. Would you like me to do that? And you're like, I would love for you to do that. I can do that. It's just, we need some kind of leverage, because I'm not going to ask you to pay for it. The cost is exorbitant. But Sweden would be very interested in knowing what your troop movement is going to look like in Turkey, whatever it might be, right? Now all of a sudden, it's a currency. Secrets become a currency. And the general was controlled by his government to protect the secret. Now he's controlled by you to disclose the secret. Because the one thing that you know when you're talking to somebody who's under someone else's control is that person can be controlled. So you're already one step ahead of them. They don't even realize it.
And then do you also have to convince them that the information they're giving you is not going to hurt other people?
Sometimes they want the information to hurt other people. They just don't want to be the one to...
Because they don't believe in it.
Well, they don't want to be the one that does the work, right?
Okay.
They want to stick it to their boss, or they want to stick it to their president, or they want to, if it's Pakistan and India, if you tell either side that their information is going to hurt the other side, most of them are going to jump up and be like, absolutely, let's do it. Let's high five. If I can stick it to the Pakistanis, or I can stick it to the Indians, right? So visceral is their conflict with each other.
Okay. And when anyone hates that much, then they're compromised themselves.
They're compromised.
Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.